Have you ever held on so tightly to someone or something that is still your peace? What if letting go isn't losing, but a way to come back home to yourself? The ones meant for you never really leave, and what isn't yours quietly finds its way out of your life. In this video, we're going to explore why letting go can actually be the greatest act of love for yourself and for others. It's time to stop chasing, start releasing, and discover the freedom waiting for you. Hi guys, I'm Daria and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, this is a space where we explore inner growth, reclaim our worth, and release anything holding us back. Today we're diving into a truth that can change the way you see relationships, friendships, and even moments of loss. That letting go isn't losing, it's simply returning what was never yours to hold. We'll talk about how to stop overthinking, stop holding on to what isn't yours, and how to reclaim your peace and energy in the process. Let's get into it. Chapter 1: The Illusion of Losing People. The day you understand you never truly lose people, only return them, everything feels lighter. Life gently returns them to their path, and in doing so, returns you to yours. Loss is only pain until you realize it's not the end, it's a return. What's meant for you will always find its way back. You don't lose people, you return them with love, and in that release, you make space for peace to enter. It's a gentle truth most of us resist because we confuse presence with belonging. When someone walks out of your life, it can feel like something sacred was stolen. A friend, a lover, or even a version of yourself that felt alive only because they were there to reflect it. It feels unfair, sudden, empty, but people aren't possessions. They're experiences, mirrors, and teachers. When their purpose is fulfilled, life quietly redirects them, or if meant to be, guides them back to you. Loss hurts because it challenges the illusion of ownership. We want to believe we can keep what brings joy, that love will stay if we hold it tightly enough, that moments can be frozen in time. But the truth is, you never owned them. You only crossed paths. Every connection has its divine season. Some seasons end before we're ready, while others continue, returning in ways that enrich our journey. In the moment of loss, it's hard to see clearly. Pain clouds our judgment. We replay memories, search for answers, and try to write endings that weren't ours to control. But when time softens the ache, a new understanding surfaces. Maybe it wasn't loss at all. Maybe it was a release. Maybe life was clearing space for what's next. New lessons, new love, new versions of you that couldn't bloom while you were still gripping what was gone. Before I embraced this mindset of you don't lose people, you return them, I used to get lost in overthinking. Why didn't this work out? Did I do something wrong? All those questions swirling in my head like a storm. I'd replay moments, wonder if I missed a sign, or blame myself for things beyond my control. With time and clarity, I realized some people, friendships, or relationships were never meant to happen or last, and that's okay. It wasn't failure or reflection of my worth. Life was quietly guiding me toward what was truly meant for me. Looking back, I can see what didn't work. It was never truly for me. The earlier something that wasn't meant to be is taken away, the better. Sometimes you should be relieved or even grateful something didn't work out. What didn't fit your life might have been saving you. Imagine if it had stayed and completely derailed you. I know that in that moment, with a storm in your head and emotions running high, it's impossible to think rationally. But once you attain the mindset that life returns what belongs to you and redirects what doesn't, the weight lifts. You stop clinging, stop questioning yourself, and start opening space for what is truly meant to flow into your life. Think of every ending not as a door closing, but as life gently redirecting you, guiding you towards something new or back to what's meant to stay. Some people stay a lifetime, others only for a chapter. Both matter, both shape you. So instead of asking, why did they leave? Ask, what did they teach me? Because in the end, every goodbye is also an evolution. Yours. Maybe you didn't lose them at all. Maybe you simply returned them with gratitude, love, and peace, trusting that life will bring the right souls back to you when the time is right. Chapter 2: Attachment, the Source of Suffering. Attachment is the quiet thief of peace. It begins innocently. We love, we connect, we hold on. But when love turns into possession, peace turns into fear. We start tying, sometimes even unconsciously, our happiness to someone's presence, their affection, their attention. And when they pull away, the heart feels heavy, not because they took something from us, but because we gave them power over our emotions. Attachment makes us forget that peace is an inside job. We chase reassurance instead of grounding ourselves. We beg life not to take what was never ours to control, and yet the tighter we grip, the more life reminds us that everything external is fleeting. People, moments, even feelings. Sometimes this pattern can come from childhood experiences or early emotional wounds. Maybe as a child, losing something, a parent, a friend, a pet, a sense of safety. Maybe you learned early that love can disappear without warning, so now you grip tightly, terrified of losing again. You hold on thinking your control will protect you, but it doesn't. It just keeps you stuck in fear, waiting for a loss instead of living in love. This is something that can be explored with a therapist or through journaling and by reflecting on patterns, understanding what's holding you back and how to love without fear or control. Reflection and awareness are the first steps. They help you see where attachment has taken root and how it shapes your reaction. Yet insight alone isn't enough. The truth is, attachment doesn't prevent pain, it prolongs it, because when you hand someone the keys to your peace, you can't be surprised when they drive away with it. The moment you attach, you make your peace conditional, that you'll be happy if they stay. But life doesn't promise permanence. People change, circumstances shift, and fate doesn't negotiate. In my teenage years, I used to have this mindset. If we're friends, then we are friends. Honestly, I still hold that belief today, but I've learned something important. I don't let myself attach to specific outcomes anymore, because so much is simply not within our control. Back then, I would get surprised or even hurt when someone suddenly acted differently than I expected. I thought I could predict their behavior, but the truth is, you cannot predict someone's behavior, control people, or expect things to turn out a certain way, and you don't need to. That's simply not within our control. Now my mindset is simple. If we're friends, we are friends. I show up fully, I care, I love, but I don't cling to a specific outcome. I let life unfold as it will. If a friendship is meant to last long, perfect. If not, that's totally fine too. And let me tell you, with this mindset, life gets so much easier. Peace comes when we stop trying to control what was never ours. The deepest freedom comes when you stop begging life to keep what was only meant to visit. Love deeply, yes, but with open hands. Let's what meant to stay, stay. Let's what meant to leave, leave. Chapter 3. They were never yours to lose. If something is truly meant for you, it finds a way to stay. We suffer not because people go, but because we believe they shouldn't. We cling to the illusion of ownership or control, forgetting that nothing external truly belongs to us. People, moments, even dreams, they're experiences, not possessions. When someone leaves, a friend, a lover, even a version of yourself, it's easy to mistake their departure for a loss. But loss isn't always the enemy. Sometimes it's life's quiet act of redirection. You're not being punished, you're being aligned. You're being asked to release what your soul has already outgrown. When you lose a friend, a lover, or a memory, try reframing it this way. You don't lose them, you return them to their journey, their lessons, their path. The universe doesn't take, it rebalances. What's meant to be yours will never require you to chase or grip. What drifts away was never meant to stay, and that's not cruelty. It's protection in hidden form. Imagine it this way. You're both travelers. You walk side by side for a while, maybe a chapter, maybe a lifetime, and then your paths may be unfolded in different directions. That's not tragedy. That's life's rhythm. Every person who enters your life is a mirror reflecting something you needed to see, learn, or release. Some stay to build with you, others arrive only to remind you who you are when everything else fades. Let go of the belief that you could have made them stay. No amount of love or effort could have changed what was already meant to unfold, exactly as it was meant to. I remember how I used to torment myself with overthinking, wondering if there was something I could have done differently in that one situation. All that worry, it quietly stole my time and energy. Now, I don't do that anymore because I've learned that what's yours in energy, in truth, in timing will remain. What's not will return to where it belongs, because life is a series of arrivals and returns. You don't lose people, you return them to their path as you continue walking in your own. And when you understand this deeply, not just in thought but in heart, an inner gentleness replaces the tension you've been carrying. The pain doesn't vanish, but it transforms. Slowly, it becomes peace. So instead of asking, why did they leave? Ask, what did they teach me? Because maybe they were never yours to keep, only yours to meet, to learn from, to love, and to let go. Chapter 4. Stop breaking your own heart. You break your own heart each time you chase what isn't reaching back, by overgiving, overthinking, or overstaying where love no longer lives. We romanticize persistence, but sometimes true courage is in letting go. Peace is often waiting on the other side of surrender. Don't be afraid of losing people. Be afraid of losing yourself while trying not to lose them. Be afraid of exhausting your mind, torturing your mental health, and bending yourself into someone you're not, just to be chosen. Ask yourself, who are you trying to keep and at what cost? Because the more you try to control something, the more it controls you. You start performing for love, bending your boundaries, shrinking to be chosen, all for a place that was never meant to hold you. Let people do as they please. Their choices reveal their priorities. And if it's not mutual, that's your signal to release, not chase. It's time to turn your gaze inward. Start looking at yourself, honoring your needs, and loving yourself the way you wish others would. Your love for yourself sets the standard for every other interaction. Make effort only where it's returned. If it's one-sided, it's not love. It's attachment pretending to be love. Stop mistaking holding on for proof of worth. Stop believing that exhaustion and compromise prove your value. Your peace is more important than proving someone else's commitment. The moment you stop fighting for what's fading, you'll notice peace filling the space it once occupied. That's healing, quite liberating, and a relief you've been waiting for. Freedom doesn't come from holding on, it comes from releasing. When you let go of what isn't meant for you, life has room to bring what is, and it will, in its own perfect timing. So ask yourself, are you holding on to what's yours, or are you breaking your own heart? Chapter 5. The only constant is you. Everything around you shifts and changes, and that's part of life's rhythm. You're the one person who walks with you through it all, from beginning to becoming. Everyone else, everything else is passing through. Teachers, companions, mirrors, reflection of who you are at different stages of becoming. That isn't loneliness, it's power. It's freedom, because once you stop clinging to what will inevitably change, you start living fully, without fear. You stop chasing and start attracting. You stop begging for presents and start embodying it. You move through life with open hands, trusting that what's meant for you will stay, and what isn't will gently drift away. There was a time when farewells or things not going as I hoped felt confusing and heavy. I would overthink details, replay conversations in my head, and wonder if I could have done something differently. I didn't realize that those moments were actually teaching me how to come back home to myself and how to build a peace that doesn't depend on anyone else staying. And I've learned if something is meant to happen, it will. You don't have to force it. So if you're going through something right now, please don't torture yourself by overthinking or blaming yourself. Don't keep replaying what you could have done differently. Because trust me, while you're out here breaking yourself apart over someone or something, most of the time they're just out there living their life. Don't give your peace or your energy away like that. You deserve to be as free and calm as you once hoped someone else would make you feel. When you make peace with change, you become unshakable. You stop fearing endings because every ending brings you closer to yourself, closer to clarity, closer to the version of you who doesn't rely on external validation to feel whole. Each loss, each shift, each goodbye is not a punishment. It's a gentle nudge guiding you to your center. The people meant for you will find you in one way or another, sometimes again, sometimes only once, but always for a reason. And even when they don't return, the lessons and love they brought you remain in your heart, shaping you into someone wiser, softer, stronger. Remember, you don't lose people, you return them with love. You release them to life, to growth, to timing. You don't cling. You don't chase, you allow life to unfold naturally, knowing that what belongs to you cannot escape. And perhaps, most importantly, you return yourself to your peace, your presence, your truth. You are the constant in a world full of change. You are the home you've been searching for in others. When you embrace this, everything external becomes lighter. You walk through life anchored in yourself, calm, whole, and radiantly free. Because in the end, the one thing you can always count on is you. This is it for today. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I know it's easy to rush or question your timing, but wherever you are right now, you're exactly where you need to be. Trust your pace. If this spoke to you, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram for more inspiration, and I'll see you in the next one.